Okay, so this is my Atomic Blonde review. I did quite enjoy this movie. However, it did have quite a few flaws, which is a shame. It's a great concept for a movie. My main flaw with the film, I feel like the style got in the way of everything else. It seemed as if like they had shot the movie and then they just shoved all of this, what they wanted to be the style in, and it just completely ruined it. Like right at the start, it has, footage of tensions of the Berlin Wall and all that sort of stuff, and it's giving you information on that. And then it has this thing come on the screen and say, this is not that story, and it was like spray painted on, and it just came across like this was going to be a completely different film than what it was. I feel like that's something more fitting for something like Kingsman. Throughout the film it's like that. Whenever text appears on the screen, it appears in this bright font and it's like it's spray painted on, and it just immediately took me out of the movie. The text didn't seem like sort of an extension of the movie. It didn't seem like part of the movie. It was so evident that it was there that it took me out of the movie completely. The music as well is also a complaint that I have. Music got in the way of the film a lot, in my opinion. It just seemed like there was no thought really put into the songs. It was just sort of like, this was popular in the 80s, let's put this in. And okay, you can do that, but you need to do something with the songs, or the songs need to have a purpose to be there. The majority of the time, the songs do not have a purpose to be there. They don't incorporate them in an interesting way. The purpose for them being there is someone will usually turn on a music device, like a boombox or something. There's a pretty brutal action scene towards the end of the movie, and a song starts playing directly after it, and it's so out of place that a few people that were in the same cinema as me actually laughed, and I had to agree. I had no idea why that song would play directly after this amazing, I'll admit, action scene. It was just very strange. The plot of this movie also tends to let it down. The movie isn't about the fall of the Berlin Wall or any of that as you would expect it to be. That stuff is just happening in the background, which wouldn't so much be a problem if they didn't keep shoving it in. Like as at the start, as I said, they show all this footage of tensions in Berlin, so you immediately think that's what it's going to be about, and it's not. I feel like they just should not have shown that at all. And then throughout the film, you always see news clips and things like that, and it just seems very shoved in. I feel like if you didn't want to make the film about that, that's fine, but you needed to incorporate that in some kind of way. It just can't be going on in the background. The film is actually about this game of spies, as it's referred to. Lorraine Broughton, which is Charlize Theron's character, is sent to Berlin to find this list of all the double agents, and to also find Satchel, who is a double agent operating out of Berlin. Halfway through the film, that just lost me, and it wasn't so much that it was confusing. The film didn't make you care enough about her mission to actually figure out what was happening and to follow along with it. So in the middle of the film, it had lost me completely and I forgot what she was even doing there, to be honest. So I ragged this movie out a fair bit, so I suppose I should get on to some positives. I thought Charlize Theron and James McAvoy did a great job. I definitely think Charlize Theron was in her own in the action scenes. That's where she shone in this movie. Apparently she did her own stunts, and it definitely shows. She was amazing, and I genuinely believed that she could kick ass and that she could just beat anyone's ass that came anywhere near her. James McAvoy, I definitely bought him as a spy. In fact, some points in the film I completely forgot that he was a spy, and that's the whole point, is that he's supposed to blend in, and he seemed to just blend in with his surroundings. And I tend to like those two in whatever they're in, so I'm glad they were cast in this, because I feel like they did elevate it and made me enjoy it a lot more. I feel like if there was other actors in this, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I did, so I think the acting really saved this movie. There are a few twists in this movie. There are some that I definitely did see coming, while there are some that I didn't. Another positive is that the action scenes in this movie are amazing, they are brutal, and I genuinely believed that the people on screen were trying to kill each other and that they were almost dying, and I thought they were amazing. They were amazingly shot. There were elongated takes, so you could really see what was going on. Nothing bothers me more when there's supposed to be a brutal action scene and there's just a million cuts and you can't see what's going on. So all in all, it's a pretty enjoyable film. It does have flaws, but if you want to see Charlize Theron kick some ass, then this is definitely the film for you. So I would probably give it a middle of the road, because the acting was very good and the action scenes were very good, but the style and the soundtrack and the plot did seem to let it down. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!